Welcome to the PHP Jet Framework video tutorial. In this video, we will show how to perform a quick installation for testing purposes. First, please make sure that PHP version 8 or later is available on your computer and that standard PHP modules such as PDO extension, multi-byte string extension, INTL extension, and GD extension. There should also be some SQL database available. PHP Jet currently supports MySQL or MariaDB, SQLite, PostgreSQL, and MS SQL. For testing purposes, the SQLite database system is sufficient. If your computer is ready, please download the PHP Jet framework. You have the following options for downloading. Option 1. Use the Composer tool and download the framework using this command. However, using the Composer tool is optional. PHP Jet can work with this tool, but is not dependent on it. If you don't have Composer available, that's fine. There are other options. Second option. Another option is to download the archive directly from the PHP Jet project website. The latest and most up-to-date version of PHP Jet is always available at this URL. Just click on the link, download the archive, and unzip it. And the last option is to download PHP Jet directly from the github.com repository, which you can find at this URL. Now please navigate to the directory where you have unzipped PHP Jet. You do not need to configure any web server to try it out, but you can test the framework using the built-in testing playground that uses PHP's internal development server. To start the playground, use the following command. You can then specify which URL and TCP port the test playground will run on. The default values are localhost and port 8000. If you are happy with these settings, there is no need to enter anything and just continue using the Enter key. And now the test playground is up and running. Now please open the URL where the stitching playground is running in your browser. What you see now is the web installer. The installer will guide you through all the necessary setup. For the record, the installer is a PHP Jet application itself, and you can modify it as you wish and use it for your own projects in the future. But now let's move on to the installation. As a first step, please choose a language that suits you. Your system has now been tested for compatibility. If everything is in order, you can proceed. In the next step, it is verified whether there is a write permission to the directories where PHP Jet and its sample application will need to write. If it is needed, please set the necessary permissions for these directories. When everything is in order, it is possible to proceed to the next step. Now select the type of database you want to use for testing purposes. As a reminder, the SQLite database is suitable for testing purposes. The installer shows all the options that your system supports. Now you need to configure the connection to the database. If you have chosen the SQLite database, then just confirm the pre-generated path to the database file. If you have chosen another option, such as MariaDB, then we recommend creating a new database with test user access for testing purposes. Please enter the configuration details to connect to the database, and then you can proceed. The connection to the database is now tested. If everything is okay, it is possible to continue. In this step, the installer created all the necessary database table. Everything should be fine and you can continue. Now you can select the languages and localizations that will be installed with the PHP Jet example application. Now you can set the URLs where the sample application will be available. The sample application consists of 3 parts: a small sample website, administration interface, REST API server. Each part can, of course, have multiple languages and localizations. You can control which addresses everything will be available on, but it is sufficient to leave the predefined values. And now just a few last steps. The sample email sending system needs to know the details of the sender of the emails. A PHP Jet application is not monolithic, but consists of so-called application modules. In this step, you have the possibility to influence which modules will be installed and activated. However, there is no need to do anything and just click on the Continue button. And now you need to create a master access account to the administration of the example application. In practice, you just need to enter the password, confirm the password, and enter the user's email. The sample application also includes a section for registered visitors. In this step, we will create a test visitor user account. The example application also includes a REST server and a REST client. In this step, you need to create a test user for the REST server. Part of the PHP Jet framework is a tool called Jet Studio. It's a very powerful tool that can be used to configure many things or even generate entire classes and application modules. This tool has a web interface. In case of access outside of localhost, it is necessary to protect this tool with at least a username and password. Please choose a username and password and we can proceed. And that's it. This completes the installation. After clicking the Continue button, you will be taken to the home page of the sample application and you can start exploring the very wide possibilities of the PHP Jet framework. Thank you for your attention. We hope you find PHP Jet interesting and we look forward to seeing more videos. If you have any questions, there is detailed documentation or a discussion forum where you can post your question.